My sister, Jessica, was screaming for hot pot, and the whole family scrambled to please her. When the waiter was 2 minutes late with our order, she stood up, hands on her hips, and started shouting, "Are you blind? This dress is worth more than your life." Then, seeing a limited edition hoodie, the enraged waiter grabbed a copper kettle of boiling water. Jessica violently pulled me in front of her as a shield. The scalding water drenched my back. Later, they held up a letter of forgiveness they'd written on my behalf. While I was tied to a wheelchair, they live-streamed my gruesome injuries, collecting donations and profits from disability-related product endorsements, making a fortune. I died in a dark, forgotten attic. I woke up again, reborn in the instant before the boiling water hit. This time, I dodged, slipping into the restroom and locking the door behind me. Through the crack in the door, I filmed everything. The splash of water and my sister's agonizing screams echoed together. My parents were frantically trying to cover the lens of their phone, which was already live-streaming. I had all the evidence I needed now: the security footage, the hard drives, and the bank transfer records. Okay, people, connect to your neighbor's Wi-Fi, grab your snacks and some flamin' hot Cheetos. It's time to spill the tea. My own father once poured a pot of boiling oil on me. My mother and sister held my arms and legs down with iron chains, keeping me still. A sizzling sound filled the air, followed by the smell of cooking flesh. My skin turned crimson, erupting in massive blisters. I screamed, begging them to spare me. My sister just giggled. "Just hang in there, Chloe. We're about to make a ton of money." My mother sighed softly. "I didn't realize they wanted it to be this gruesome. Your burns aren't severe enough, and cutting out your tongue wasn't enough either. Honey, just another $500, 000 and we'll stop. Just hold on a little longer." I screamed, my eyes burning with hatred. These were my family, the family I once cherished. My father slapped me across the face. "I gave you your life. It's just a little oil. I'm not trying to kill you. What are you screaming for?" I glared at him, wishing I could tear them apart. "You bitch. How dare you stare at me? I'll beat you to death." He grabbed a nearby club and started beating me. The blisters on my skin burst, splattering blood everywhere. The pain was so intense I couldn't breathe. Jessica watched with a smirk. "Chloe, how could you glare at Dad? He gave you life. Can't you just be a little more obedient?" I stared at them until my own father beat me to death. Dying was a relief. If it meant sending them to hell, I'd give anything. When I opened my eyes again, my sister was yelling at the waiter. Seeing his downcast face, I smiled. This time, it was their turn to go to hell. Jessica's face was twisted with disgust. "Are you blind? Can't you see the pot is boiling dry? You get paid to do nothing? Believe it or not, I can get your manager to fire you." That was Jessica, always relentless, never willing to back down. The waiter mumbled an apology. "I'm sorry, it's really busy right now. I'll go get more broth from the kitchen immediately." Jessica scoffed. "Someone like you is destined to be a waiter for life. You couldn't even handle school, and now you can't even do your job right." Her face was full of contempt, as if she were looking at garbage. The waiter glanced at her, then turned and walked away. Jessica wasn't finished. She slammed the table and demanded to see the manager. I knew what was coming next wasn't the manager, but a kettle of boiling water. In my previous life, Jessica had dragged me in front of her. 65% of my body was burned, and my face was completely destroyed. While I was fighting for my life in the hospital, my so-called family was writing a forgiveness letter on a live stream, gaining the sympathy of millions. They became huge influencers. I looked toward the kitchen. The waiter was walking back slowly. I smiled at my sister, picked up my phone, and said, "I'm going to the restroom." Jessica just rolled her eyes and covered her nose, acting as if she were a fairy who never had to use the toilet. I started a voice recording and walked quickly toward the restroom. Just as I reached the door, I heard Jessica's scream. It was a piercing shriek, much louder than my own had been. I didn't turn around. I calmly went inside. "Chloe, come back here." It was my mother's voice. Why would I go back? I had business to attend to. "Help, help me. Someone's trying to kill me." Jessica's voice was hoarse from screaming. It was chaos outside. I splashed cold water on my face. "No rush. Take it slow. I would repay them for every ounce of suffering I endured." I looked in the mirror. The woman staring back was beautiful. Her lips curved into a slight smile, but her eyes were filled with cold fury. When I came out, Jessica was wailing. My mother was on top of the waiter, beating him senseless. The manager was profusely apologizing to my father. They weren't this worked up last time. At least, the waiter didn't get beaten. They just kept demanding compensation from the restaurant. When she saw me, Jessica grabbed the hot pot and lunged at me. "Chloe, why did you leave? Why am I the only one who got burned? I won't accept this. Who are you?" I yelled, dodging her easily. "You hideous monster. Attacking people like that. You must be crazy. I'm calling the psychiatric hospital to come and get you." Finally, I could call her a hideous monster. She used to say that to me while she beat me. I knew she'd be desperate. I dodged her easily, but the person behind me wasn't so lucky. The scalding red broth splashed all over an elderly woman. "It hurts. Help me," she cried out before fainting. Two middle-aged women with her screamed, "Mom." One tended to the woman on the floor while the other called for her family. A moment later, four large men stood before Jessica. She backed away in fear, and my parents quickly shielded her. They glared at me. Jessica shrieked, "Chloe, why did you dodge? I was aiming for you. It's all your fault. If you hadn't moved, would she have gotten hurt?" She turned to the four men. "Make her pay. She's pretty. You could sell her for a lot of money." I wasn't surprised to hear her say that. That was just the kind of person she was. I replied calmly, "I don't know this disfigured woman. I suggest you call the police. There are security cameras here, and plenty of people are recording. It's clear who threw the pot. She can't deny it." My father snorted. My mother started to cry. "Chloe, Jessica has been through enough. Can't you just help her this one time?" "Help her? Not a chance." I smiled. "Impossible. She brought this on herself. She deserves it." Just then, the ambulance arrived. They rushed off to the hospital. I didn't follow, even as my parents pointed at me and cursed. My mind was filled with images of them tying me up and beating me. While I was in a drugged sleep, they live-streamed my suffering, showing my burns to their online audience to get donations. They even set up private groups, sending daily updates on my miserable condition to extract more money from guilt-ridden strangers. You can't deal with people like that without being prepared. I went around to everyone who had recorded the incident and asked them to send me a copy, especially the part where Jessica threw the hot pot at me. This time, I'd see how they could play the victim. I bought 3 hidden cameras and installed them in discreet locations at home. Then I packed my bags and went back to my dorm at the university. I had 6 months until graduation and was supposed to start an internship. My parents knew all about it. I decided to quit that job. The university was safer, and I needed to arm myself while I had the chance. I bought a bunch of self-defense gear online and signed up for one-on-one Krav Maga and self-defense classes offered by a campus club. I had just finished a run when my mom called. "Chloe, your sister is at General Hospital. Get over here and help take care of her." Her tone was commanding and entitled. I looked up at the sky, my face cold and emotionless. I couldn't help but think of my past life, alone in the hospital while they were busy negotiating compensation. Too cheap to even hire a caregiver. But for Jessica, everyone had to drop everything and cater to her every whim. When I didn't answer, my mother yelled, "Chloe, are you even human? Get in a cab and come here right now." I let out a low laugh. Did you forget she threw a pot of boiling soup at me? I'm not a saint. Why would I take care of someone who wants me dead? Jessica got what she deserved. My mother was furious. I heard the sound of a cup shattering. "Chloe, you're the older sister. Can't you be more magnanimous?" Jessica didn't mean it. She was just in a bad mood. It was the same line I'd heard my entire life. I replied coolly, "We're all just people. Why should I always have to be the one to give in? You're her mother. It's your responsibility. You take care of her." My mother was gasping on the other end of the line, as if she couldn't believe her usually obedient daughter would talk back like this. After a moment, she said in a low voice, "Chloe, your father is still at the precinct. Can you help me by bringing some toiletries?" "No. Jessica terrified me today. I don't want to see either of you right now." I hung up. They didn't deserve to be called parents. I had zero trust in them. The thought of seeing them made me want to kill them with my own hands. 2 weeks later, I overheard them on the hidden cameras. They were planning to marry me off to a mentally disabled man for a $50,000 bride price to pay for Jessica's mess. I wanted to just run away, but I couldn't let them get away with it. A plan started to form in my mind. The next day, the dean of students found me at my self-defense class. "Your parents are at the main gate. They look really worried, like it's something important. They said your phone is off. You should go see what's going on." I knew they'd come sooner or later. I nodded obediently. After the dean left, I finished my class before slowly making my way to the gate. Those two were up to no good. I had pepper spray and a stun gun in my pocket, just in case. At the gate, my parents' faces were etched with fury. They had been waiting for over an hour and were clearly impatient. The moment they saw me, they forced awkward smiles. I stood on the other side of the gate, watching them. My mother said softly, "Chloe, we're here to take you home." Home? That was a laugh. I never had a home. I shook my head. I'm about to graduate. I'm working on my thesis and need to do a lot of research at the library. I really don't have time to go back. My father stared at me, raising his hand as if to strike. "Chloe, do you want me to beat you to death?" I believed him. That's exactly how he killed me in my past life. He was capable of anything. My mother grabbed his arm. "Chloe, I know you're still mad at Jessica. You're both my daughters, and it breaks my heart to see either of you hurt. Jessica's burns are severe. She's disfigured. Please, forgive her." Forgive them? Impossible. I would never forgive any of them. I said coldly, "She didn't burn me. What's there to forgive? She's a stranger to me. I don't care what happens to her." My parents' faces turned ugly. My father raised his hand again, and this time my mother didn't stop him. I quickly backed away. "I'm over 18 now. You're no longer legally required to support me. When you're old, I'll provide the minimum required child support. As for Jessica, I have no responsibility or obligation towards her." My father was about to explode. He swiped his ID to get through the campus gates and charged at me. My mother shouted from behind, "Chloe, don't provoke your father. He has high blood pressure." If high blood pressure could kill him, I'd be laughing in my sleep. For the past 2 weeks, I'd been running over 20 laps around the track every day. Today, I was going to run him into the ground. After a few minutes of running, my father shouted, "Hey, students, that girl up ahead is a thief. Stop her." He was still so shameless. I yelled back, "I'm Chloe, a senior in the business administration program. The man behind me is a kidnapper. Someone please call the cops." 2 students nearby recognized me. "That's Chloe. Hey everyone, let's help catch the kidnapper." Instantly, a wave of righteous students surrounded my father. His face turned beet red with anger. I'm her father, her biological father. The surrounding students weren't buying it. "What kind of father calls his own daughter a thief?" One of them said. "He's obviously lying. Look how aggressive he is. He doesn't look like a good person. Oh my God, he has a knife in his pocket. Everyone be careful." I couldn't believe he was carrying a knife. Probably for me. How cruel. Was I really his daughter? I doubted it. My father glared at me. "She is my daughter, and I'm taking her home today." I ignored him and turned to the students. "Could you please check if he has any other dangerous items on him? This is a university. I'm worried about your safety." The students were amazing. They quickly searched him and found a handkerchief and a small bottle of clear liquid. My father struggled, his face contorted in rage. "This is assault. I'm going to sue you. I'll sue the university and have you all expelled." He was threatening everyone there. I scoffed. "This is a school. You're on campus with dangerous items, which makes you a threat. We're doing a public service." Just then, a curious student picked up the handkerchief and sniffed it. A moment later, he looked dizzy and collapsed. If the student next to him hadn't caught him, he would have hit the ground hard. With the student passed out, my father panicked. He took advantage of the confusion and broke free from the students holding him. I shouted, "Students, he's getting away. Stop him." The man, who had only taken a few steps, was caught again, this time held down tightly. Just as they were about to drag him off campus, my mother arrived. She glared at me venomously. "Chloe, are you even human? That's your father. How could you do this to him?" She turned and screamed at the students holding him down. "Let go of my husband right now, or you'll regret it. I'm warning you, we're old. We can't handle this kind of manhandling." I had to admit, my mother's threats were effective. In today's society, the fear of being scammed by the elderly was real. No amount of money could save you from that. I said coldly, "They are dangerous criminals. We are acting as good Samaritans, with so many witnesses. Do you think a few words can change the facts? If anything happens to them, I will take full responsibility." The students' sense of justice flared up again. A few of the girls grabbed my mother as well. My parents' curses grew uglier, but the students started lecturing them, quoting everything from political theory to legal statutes. My parents fell silent, only occasionally shooting me a hateful glare. Outside the campus gates, 2 police officers approached. My father panicked and shot me a desperate look. I just smiled. You brought a knife and chloroform and expect me to speak up for you? Dream on. I briefly explained the situation. The officers gave my parents a cold look. They denied everything. My mother cried, "Officer, we've been wronged. She's my daughter. How could we possibly harm her?" My father was furious. "This is a family matter. It's none of your business." My voice trembled as I said, "Officer, they want to sell me to traffickers in Mexico. I'm so scared. I don't think they're my real parents. Can you please run a DNA test?" My parents froze, a flicker of panic in their eyes. So, there was something to it. No wonder they were so cruel to me. My mother pointed at me and screamed, "Chloe, have you no conscience? We raised you for over 20 years, and this is how you repay us? You ungrateful brat, you'll go to hell for this." They beat me to death, and that's what they call having a conscience? They were the ones who deserved to go to hell, no matter how much they argued. The knife and the chloroform were undeniable evidence. We all went to the precinct. My parents tried to talk their way out of it, but with a crowd of university students as witnesses, they were taken into separate interrogation rooms. This incident had caused a huge stir. Many students had witnessed it, and countless videos were posted online. The police had to take it seriously. I cried as I laid out the reasons why I believed they weren't my biological parents. I even showed them the video of Jessica throwing the hot pot. The way the three of them had cursed at me back then showed no signs of familial affection, even though a DNA test could prove it. I wanted to know the truth. After more than 2 hours, my father was formally detained. He took all the blame for what happened today. As for my parentage, they seemed to have their story straight. They found me in a dumpster. That's it? I didn't believe it. As soon as I left the precinct, my mother, or rather, my adoptive mother, Sharon, grabbed my arm. Her face was plastered with a sycophantic smile. "Chloe, honey, I'm begging you, please write a letter of forgiveness, okay?" I laughed softly. "I don't have a mother. I'm an orphan. After how you've treated me all these years, what gives you the nerve to ask me for a letter of forgiveness?" From a young age, they always made me give in to Jessica. I did all the chores. I only wore Jessica's hand-me-downs. I lived like a dog. I started working part-time in high school, and they took most of my earnings. I had to secretly take on extra tutoring jobs in college just to save a little money. Sharon was stunned for a moment, then forced an awkward smile. "Chloe, it was snowing that night. If we hadn't taken you in, you would have died. We raised you for decades. Even if there's no credit, there's been hard work. Please, just write the letter." "Impossible. Not even if you kill me. I will never write him a letter of forgiveness." Seeing my silence, Sharon dropped to her knees with a thud. I quickly stepped aside. After dying once, I was afraid she'd shorten my lifespan. Sharon sobbed. "The family of the woman who got burned is demanding $50,000. Jessica's plastic surgery will cost another $100. Your father is the breadwinner of this family. We can't do this without him." "Plastic surgery? How nice. They never mentioned that word in my past life." I said coldly, "Sell the house. It's not like you can't afford it." Sharon shook her head violently. "No, that house is our life. We'd rather die than sell it." So, selling me was okay. Such hypocrites. I looked at her with a smirk. "Then let Jessica become a big influencer. She's so tragic. Someone is bound to donate money." Sharon's eyes lit up. She asked eagerly, "How do you become a big influencer?" I smiled. This time, I wanted to see if they would choose their daughter or the money. I said with a grin, "Post her burn pictures online. The more gruesome, the better. If you want to go viral even faster, write a letter of forgiveness for the waiter." Sharon bowed her head, lost in thought. I turned and walked away. Knowing them, Jessica was definitely going to become an influencer. This was exactly what they did in my past life. Finally, it was Jessica's turn to enjoy the spotlight. I had barely gotten back to the university when Sharon called. "Chloe, why did you run off so fast? You're the smart one. Come back and help us." The audacity of her words. If I went back, would there be anything good waiting for me? I said flatly, "No, no, no. Jessica is the smart one. She knows what to do. By the way, since we're not related by blood, please don't contact me unless it's important." The person on the other end of the line exploded again. Sharon spent the next half hour screaming insults at me, calling me every name in the book. I listened quietly, interjecting with feigned gasps of shock, sadness, and hurt. When she seemed to have run out of steam, I added. I was actually thinking about writing a letter of forgiveness for Ken, but after listening to you yell for so long, I've changed my mind. People like you don't deserve my forgiveness. There was a moment of silence, followed by a piercing shriek. Chloe, I was wrong. I was possessed just now. I'll slap myself. Okay, please, just forgive me. I heard 2 slapping sounds from the other end, though I couldn't tell if they were real or fake. Sharon's voice was choked with sobs. Chloe, you're such a good person. You'll forgive us, right? Come back, and we can all become big influencers together. The moment they cut out my tongue in my past life, I stopped wanting to be a good person. I was done being their punching bag. No, thank you. You should let Jessica be the influencer. Isn't she disfigured? You have to be tragic to go viral. I had struck a nerve again. She screamed, Chloe, you bitch. You're going to die a horrible death. I hung up and checked the feed from the hidden cameras. Sharon was sitting on the sofa, fuming. She muttered viciously, I'll go back to the university tomorrow. I have to trick her into coming home. Then I'll disfigure her face and make her the influencer. Jessica, wearing a hat and a mask that only revealed her cold, dark eyes, said, why does she get to go to school and live a normal life? How can she be better off than me? She has to be more miserable than I am. Mom, I can't stand it. I want to kill her. Sharon pulled her into an embrace, patting her back gently. Don't worry, Jessica, we'll just cripple her a little. We'll make her earn money for your plastic surgery, to buy you a big house. Jessica said coldly. I don't want to hear her voice. Trick her into coming back tomorrow. And let's cut out her tongue first. So that's why they cut out my tongue in my past life. I always knew they were evil, but a chill still ran down my spine. I thought about taking the recording to the police, but at most, it would just be a warning. The main reason Ken was detained today was because of the chloroform and the need to trace its source. As for the rest, since no major harm was done, the police couldn't do much. I checked all my bank accounts. I had a grand total of $552.60. After some serious thought, I decided to run. Honestly, if I'd had the money, I would have run the moment I was reborn. It all came down to being poor. My Krav Maga and self-defense classes were at a friendship price from a fellow student. Otherwise, I couldn't even have afforded to sign up. I went to the dean of students and explained the situation, including some details about my family. The dean sighed. Don't worry, this is a university. They won't be able to bully one of my students. In my past life, after I was disfigured, the dean had brought students to visit me, encouraging me to move past the trauma, but I never even made it out the door. My eyes welled up with tears. Professor Lee, I don't want to get tangled up with them anymore. They raised me for over 20 years. After all, no matter what, I'm the younger one. I can't win. Outsiders will just tell me how hard it was for them and tell me to be more magnanimous. It's easy for them to say. All they have to do is play the victim, and everyone will sympathize with the underdog. I had seen through all of this in my past life. The dean told me to leave without worry, that he would handle things at the university. He gave me a big hug. I packed my things and left that night. I took a train to Chicago, then a bus to Denver, to find a place with room and board as quickly as possible. I got a job in a warehouse packing boxes. It wasn't bad, actually. At least no one was calling me an ungrateful brat. My mother went to the university looking for me several times, but always came up empty. She went to the dean's office and caused a scene, demanding he produce me. Professor Lee didn't say a word. He just called the police. With some people, you just can't reason. You say one thing, and they can argue for half an hour without repeating themselves. The police called me. I cried. They want to sell me. If I don't run, should I just wait for them to sell me? I don't like them. I hate them. Yes, they raised me, but I never said I wouldn't support them in their old age. I'm over 18. I can choose my own life. Sharon was yelling at me in the background, so loud that even the police officer couldn't stop her. A corner of my mouth turned up. My voice was cold. See? With parents like that, why would I go back? I'm not a masochist. I'm a living, breathing person. After hanging up, I went out and treated myself to a nice meal to celebrate. A week later, I saw Jessica's victim video online. In the end, they chose money. In the video, Jessica revealed most of her burns, which looked horrifying. She cried, recounting her version of events. She even asked her followers if she should write a letter of forgiveness for the waiter. Netizens sympathized with Jessica and cursed the waiter. The video went viral, gaining over 200,000 000 followers overnight. Not bad, not bad at all. I couldn't help but give it a like. You have to climb high for the fall to hurt more. The next day, Jessica livestreamed herself writing the letter of forgiveness, crying the entire time. She also posted her PayPal account, asking for donations. Sharon was in the background, murmuring about how hard things were. She also mentioned how Ken had gone to see me, only to be sent to jail by me. Of course, she left out the part about the knife and chloroform, simply saying he wanted me to come home and comfort Jessica but was misunderstood and sent to the precinct. Every word was a veiled attack on me. The netizens were led by the nose, and I became the target of another wave of online hate. I was really something else. I had planned to let them enjoy their fame for a while longer, but now there was no need. A couple of days later, I heard they had given the forgiveness letter to the waiter and had received over $200,000 in donations. That was enough to get them in trouble. I immediately posted the video of Jessica berating the waiter, followed by the video of her trying to throw the hot pot at me. The caption read, "Every pitiable person has a detestable side." I spent $100 on boosting the post and commented on Jessica's videos to drive traffic. Soon, my video went viral too. The comments section on Jessica's video was a war zone. Netizens hated being played for fools. Jessica cried, claiming it wasn't her, that someone must have made a deepfake video. She was innocent. She even suggested the waiter was behind it, since the video came out right after she gave him the forgiveness letter. Who else could it be? Sharon, wiping her tears, asked her followers, "We don't want to be good people anymore. Can we take back the forgiveness letter?" The public opinion shifted again. Half of her followers still supported them. A small portion was skeptical, and the rest were calling them out for playing the victim. I didn't understand what they were trying to do. It wasn't like only 1 or 2 people were filming that day. I had videos from 5 or 6 different angles myself. Maybe they thought netizens were that stupid, that whoever was more pitiful was in the right. After all, people tend to sympathize with the underdog. I uploaded 2 more videos from different angles with the caption, "Is AI this advanced now? It can even change the camera angle?" Before I could post a few more essays, the waiter came forward. He posted the restaurant's security footage. He also shared screenshots of text messages where Jessica had threatened him. Finally, there were several 60-second voice messages of Jessica verbally abusing him. The caption read, "I'd rather go to jail than be verbally abused by her. I have a short temper, but I threw that water at someone who deserved it." Now, even if Jessica had 1,000 mouths, she couldn't explain her way out of this. I sent a message to the dean. The video of Ken causing a scene at the university could now be posted online. He had wanted to post it earlier, but I had asked him to wait. It didn't take long. Videos of Ken and Sharon causing a scene at the university popped up online like mushrooms after a rain. Many students had recorded it from all angles. Some even added their own commentary at the end. The chloroform and the knife were the main focus, featured in every video. The student who had been knocked out by the chloroform even shared his personal experience, ending with a warning to everyone to be careful, even around family. The dean also posted a video. He said, "Chloe is an outstanding student at our university, and we will do everything in our power to protect her. We have confirmed with the police that Chloe is not their biological child. They found her in a dumpster. They came to the university this time to drug her and sell her to a mentally disabled man for $50,000. Jessica panicked. She started a live stream from a rooftop. Sharon, her eyes swollen from crying, stood beside her, trying to talk her down. "Oh, so this was their prove my innocence through death act. I didn't buy it. She was just trying to force everyone to back down. Even if she was wrong, you had to forgive her, or you would be the one who pushed her to her death." Jessica said to the camera, "Can't you just believe me? Will you only believe me if I die?" Half the comments were telling her to jump. Many netizens no longer believed her. Jessica cried heartbrokenly, "If my death will make you happy, then should I just go and die?" Of course, Sharon wasn't going to let her die. She wiped her tears and said in a choked voice, "If anyone is going to die, it should be me. I'm 48 years old. I've lived long enough. You're only 18. You haven't even been in love, haven't been a mother. Your life is just beginning." Jessica shook her head, tears streaming down her disfigured face, which looked especially terrifying. I had to admit, she was a good actress. At least some of the netizens were starting to pity her again, making excuses for her, like she was just straightforward and didn't have a bad heart. or that the customer is always right. So what if she said a few words to the waiter? Besides, she was just a kid, and being disfigured was punishment enough. We should give her a second chance. Jessica watched the comments and cried even harder. She said pitifully, "Yes, I yelled at the waiter, but he didn't refill our pot for half an hour. Couldn't I say a few words? Are we, as customers, supposed to just let waiters throw boiling water on us? What did I do wrong? Wrong to go to the kitchen to boil your own water." When the netizens heard this, it seemed to make sense. She just had a bit of a temper, that's all. Instantly, most of the comments turned supportive. Jessica's performance was a huge success. Soon, the police arrived, and they brought Ken with them. He had lost a lot of weight in just a few days. It seemed life in detention wasn't so easy. Ken was on the verge of tears. His voice trembled as he said, "Jessica, please come down. Daddy can't lose you." The netizens are just fickle. They don't know anything. They just run their mouths. The netizens who had just been called out didn't dare to say anything. They really were fickle. Jessica watched the comments, growing bolder. She cried about how wrong she was. Her tears seemed to be drying up, so she wiped her eyes with her hand, and suddenly she was sobbing again. Knowing her, she must have had something hidden in her hand. No wonder her acting was so good. A police officer explained that Ken had been detained to help them catch a bigger fish. They had now busted a lab that produced the drug he had, so his cooperation had balanced out his crime, and he could go home. He then reminded the online audience that knowingly purchasing illegal goods is also a crime. According to Section 312 of the Penal Code, knowingly harboring, transferring, purchasing, or otherwise concealing or disguising the proceeds of a crime is punishable by up to 3 years in prison, detention, or supervised probation, and/or a fine. In serious cases, the sentence is 3 to 7 years in prison, plus a fine. I had found this out yesterday when the police contacted me. I guess Ken was lucky. It was good that he was out. A short stay in jail wouldn't have done much to him anyway. Ken looked ashamed and bowed to the online audience. "I am not fit to be Jessica's father. I failed to raise her properly. If anyone should die, it should be me. I just hope everyone can be more tolerant of her. She's only 18, she's still a child." Sharon was also crying beside him, saying she wanted to die too. The three of them were like actors in a play. They talked the talk, but their bodies were very honest. But the netizens didn't know that. They started making excuses for their past actions and even sent them a lot of gifts to comfort them. The family's performance was a huge success. Jessica's followers broke 10 million. She added another PayPal account to her bio. When they ended the live stream, I switched to the hidden camera feed. Sure enough, they were back home a short while later. Sharon was gloating. "Great idea, right? I came up with it. We made almost $100,000 in gifts from that live stream. And idiots are still sending money to the PayPal account." Jessica rushed to the bathroom to wash her hands. A horrifying smile spread across her face. "Good thing I had that onion, otherwise I really couldn't have cried. If it weren't for my great acting, would they have sided with us?" Ken laughed heartily. "That's my girl, so smart. But Chloe, I want her dead. That bitch dared to do this to me. If it weren't for that psychic who said raising an orphan would bring us a child, why would we have kept her? I raised her for over 20 years. What's wrong with marrying her off to a disabled man?" Sharon nodded enthusiastically. Yes, we'll make a few more million, then sell Chloe to traffickers in Mexico, and we can go live it up abroad." Exactly. These American netizens are so easy to fool. I just have to pretend to be pitiful, and millions of dollars roll in. Heh. I feel like I could scam 100 million without a problem. I posted the audio of their conversation online. I didn't include the video. They still had rights to their image, and it would be taken down if they complained. The full 3-minute audio was filled with them cursing the netizens. I wondered if the fickle crowd would be angry. I posted a comment with a screenshot of a $100 donation I had made. The caption read, "So this is who you really are. This is fraudulent fundraising. I've already reported it to the police. If it would send them to hell, I would do anything." Jessica's video comment section was flooded with people cursing them. No one likes being made a fool of. The family panicked. They quickly posted a video claiming the audio was a deep fake, that they were the real victims and everyone had misunderstood them. But this time, no one believed them. People compared the audio to the voice messages from the hot pot restaurant. It was definitely them. Jessica had a meltdown at home. Sharon called the police. claiming someone had broken into their house. Otherwise, how could the audio have been recorded? Soon, the police took them all away, not because of their break-in claim, but because countless netizens had reported them for fundraising fraud. This time, Sharon and Jessica were locked up. Ken was released because he hadn't participated. While Ken was at home smashing things, someone broke in. Before he could react, he was gagged and dragged into the bathroom. The intruder said menacingly, "You bastard, because of you, my boss is in prison, and all our money was seized. I can't even support my wife and kids now. I'm going to kill you." Ken was dead. He was chopped into pieces and flushed down the toilet. If the pipes in the apartment below hadn't clogged, he might never have been found. Jessica went insane. Her mental state completely collapsed. She was sent to a psychiatric hospital. As it turned out, the waiter from the restaurant later got a job at that same hospital. I visited her once. She was truly insane. She had ballooned to over 200 pounds, and her face was a terrifying mess, enough to scare a ghost. Her body was covered in scars, both old and new. The moment she saw someone, she would shrink into a corner, muttering, "I was wrong. I was really wrong. I'll never do it again." Seeing her like that, I felt at ease. Sharon was sentenced to 15 years in prison. All their assets were frozen, not a penny left. I could finally go to work in peace and come home to safety. The police contacted me, saying they had found my biological parents, but I think I'm better off alone. I don't want any more complications. I don't think I can ever really trust anyone again.